Welcome to A Tinge Ginge. Today I've got a really exciting video for you. This is something I've been working on for a long time. Been doing a lot of sort of different trials, working out different tolerances, and I just had a few issues with the baby snakes being able to get over the middle divider. So today I'm going to be showing you my hatchling / grow on tubs that I've basically redesigned completely differently to sort of what the normal tubs are. And it just sort of, it serves me a purpose basically, and I think it's going to be absolutely perfect for what I want. So we're going to be diving into that. Yeah, I hope you appreciate it, because I've spent a lot of man hours working on this to get this right. So it's something I'm really happy with, and it's something that anybody can do. You don't necessarily have to go down the route that I've gone down. You can definitely make this in your own sort of different way, but if it's something that people want to go down and have a little go of themselves, then feel free to reach out and message me. I'll be more than happy to help you. If there's something that you like in the video and you want to buy it for yourself, then again, hit me up. I'm sure I can help you in some sort of way. We can sort of work something out. So yeah, that's going to be really exciting. We're also going to look at the custom egg boxes I've made. Again, it's something that I've 3D printed myself, and I have actually got a clutch of eggs incubating in there at the minute, and I think time of filming this, I believe I've got about 16-17 days until I could possibly cut. So I normally get to day 55 of my eggs. I'll have a little feel, things like that, see what the eggs are looking like, seeing how the eggs feel, and if I think they're ready to cut on day 55, I will. And I like to cut one because I'm impatient. I want to see what's in them eggs, and also just because I've had quite a few issues with umbilical wraps and a few other things that have happened. So it just makes me a little bit paranoid about letting them go full term and pip on their own. So for me, I do like to cut. And I do have another little toy that I've been working on, which is actually going to help me in the cutting process, and it's something that it might be good for new people who are into the hobby, breeding for the first time, getting their first eggs, who are a little bit nervous about cutting. It might be something that they might be interested in actually using. So I've spent a lot of time on that as well. I can't get it patented just because the process for me to patent something is just ridiculously long, and no doubt someone will just work away around it. So I've decided not to worry about that. I'm just going to release it, show people, see what they think, and if it's something they want to purchase, then we can go down that route as well. So yeah, I've also had some issues with one of my eggs going a little bit mouldy on the end. I checked it probably about 2 weeks ago. Well, I candled it 2 weeks ago just to make sure the veins were still there and everything was healthy, and it looked fine. Today is going to be the first day since then I've actually got it out and had a look at it, so we're going to have a little candle. I'm just going to show you the process of what I've been doing to sort of treat this egg, just to try and make it sort of survive basically and stop that mould from getting too deep. So there's going to be quite a lot in this video. I'm very excited, because there's a lot I need to try and get out, and I don't want this video to be too long, so I'm going to try and condense everything down as much as I can, but hopefully I can get all the information out to you basically. So we're going to start off with these tubs because I'm so excited about these. Oh, and ignore what's going on behind me. So yes, there are snakes in these tubs. Yes, they do have some heat. Yeah, don't know about this. It's because I am working on my own custom aluminium racks at the minute, and a lot of these snakes are sort of outgrown the hatchling grow on tubs that I've got down there, and I just couldn't keep them in there any longer. So this is just like a very temporary setup I've come up with. But yeah, as you can see, a lot of these they've fed, a lot of them are shed, so they're all doing really well in there. But yeah, these are breeder females basically. But yeah, don't worry about this. Stop looking at it. It's not important. So if you've watched my channel before, you know that this is the rack that I keep all my sort of my hatchlings / grow ons on. There's 5 rows, and there's 8 tubs in each row, so there's actually 40 tubs here in general. It doesn't look a lot, but yeah, it's really good. There's 40 tubs there, and the top 2 rows, I don't know if you can see, but some of the top rows there, you can see there's another hole. So you can see that hole just there, and that's so that I can divide that tub into 2, and I can put my little bowl holder there. So the top 2 rows of this are all going to be the tubs that can be divided. Now I've got 16 tubs in those top 2 rows, so if I divide each of them up, that means I can have 32 tubs along that top rack, and then obviously I've got the 3 rows of 24 down the bottom. And what that's going to enable me to do is just when it does get to the hatching season, it just gives me that space basically, and they have ample room in here, as you're going to see shortly, to actually grow. I normally keep them in the hatchling tubs till they get to about 250 grams, and then once they sort of hit that 250 gram mark, I'll take that divider out, and then I'll keep them in there again till they get to a sort of 450-500 grams, and then they'll sort of move up in tub size, and they probably sort of jump into this sort of tub size, which is, so these are actually 32 litre tubs, and that's what I've got my sort of grow on adult females in at the minute. These females are sort of hitting the 1,000 gram mark, but as soon as they get sort of to sort of 1,500 grams, they then get moved into the big rack. And yeah, that's what my adult breeders go into basically. But yeah, that's a kind of little look at how my hatchling setup. God, it's so dirty in here. I've been doing a lot of maintenance work in here. This is a new floating shelf that I've put in. Yeah, I've done quite a bit in here, so there's just muck everywhere, so ignore that as well. But yeah, these are the tubs. You haven't seen them before. They're absolutely brilliant. I get these tubs from B&Q. I believe they're $5 each. And yeah, in my opinion, I think they're absolutely spot on. These are the ones that I've modified as well, but if I just pull this tub out, you can see, oh, look at that. Pastel GHI clown, absolutely banging. This guy, he's just going into shed again. This is probably the third time he shed since I've got him. He's just an absolute power feed. He just does not refuse a meal any time basically. But yeah, he's doing really well. But yeah, you can see he's I probably want to say he's probably getting on for about 280 now. So he was in a divider with my Butter Blitz, who's in there, and this guy has actually fed as well. You can see, look how chunky he is. Pushed all his substrate around, but yeah, look how chunky that guy is. He's growing so quickly, and I have got a female lined up for him, so as soon as he gets up to size, he's going to be straight in there with her. But yeah, as you can see, they're both doing really well. But yeah, this guy's probably about 280, I think, roughly, maybe a little bit less. But I just decided it was a little bit too cramped in that divider, so I took that divider up that they were both in, and now they're in one tub each basically, which is perfect. But yeah, so you can see there's ample room in there. I've got my little water bowl. They don't need a huge water bowl at this sort of size. Even when they're huge snakes, I don't think I need a huge water bowl. But yeah, you can see he's got ample room in there. And again, I'll probably keep him in here too. He's probably about 500 grams. If I switch to my banana clown, this is a little hint. Keep an eye on this because this will be coming up shortly as well. But this is my banana clown male that I hatched last year. I'm really happy with this guy. He's actually started pairing for me as well, which is really good. And he's probably, I want to say he's about 520. I can't remember, I weighed him a couple of weeks ago, but yeah, he's about 520. He's locking, which is brilliant. I'm really happy about that. But yeah, you can see he's about 520 grams roughly, and you can see he takes up about, I don't know, roughly a quarter of that tub, maybe just over a quarter. You can see he's still got ample room in there, but once he sort of gets to sort of, yeah, maybe a little bit bigger than that, I'll probably move him up a tub size. But to be honest, I think they're happy enough being in there. He's still eating. He has eaten today. That's why he's got another peg on the front, and I think he's actually looking for some more, greedy little boy. But yeah, that's the tub size. You can see in the bigger snakes, they fit absolutely spot on, and these little pegs that I've made, oh, absolute showstopper they are. Wait until you see them. So yeah, that's the little rack that I've sort of been working on. And yeah, what we'll do is we're going to jump straight into the divided tubs that I've shown now. Yeah, I'll show you all the problems that I've had and things like that, and I'll also show you how I run the heat for these, because all 40 of these tubs are run off of one heat source. So that's literally one heat source, one plug, one thermostat. I haven't got, I don't know, there's 5 rows, so some people probably put heat mats along there, maybe like 5 heat mats, maybe more, depending on how big the heat mat is. It probably need 2 heat mats per row for this. You'd probably need a thermostat for each 2, and yeah, absolutely crazy. The whole reason I've done that is just because I wanted to cut down on the amount of plugs I have, extension leads and all that sort of stuff, because I'm just paranoid about failures and fires and things like that. So I'm trying to make it as safe as possible as I can out here, and also just save myself a little bit of money as well. So yeah, I'll get into all that shortly, but first we'll have a quick look at the tub and we'll see what I've been working on. That's another little hint there, that little bit there. Might not look like much, focus. It might not look like much, oh come on. It's because, again, I've said it before, I like my room to be quite dark. I don't like it to be too bright in here, because these snakes, they tend to like it a little bit dark and things like that, shady. So yeah, that's why the camera doesn't focus a lot in here. But yeah, that little black tab there, as you can see, that tub above, it's got the little hole in, little black tab, making sense. But yeah, that's something else I've been working on. But right, I'm waffling, let me just show you the tub. So I'm having to use these lids as a worktop for now, just because, as you can see, my worktop is just crammed full of stuff. I've just got no room out here at the minute. So this is going to have to do for now. But if you've not seen these before, these are my custom tubs that I've been using for my hatchlings. This little bit on the top here, as you can see, is something a little bit different. But what I will do is I'll just get this other clip out and show you that. So this will go onto there, that clicks on, perfect, good. So yeah, this is my custom tub that I've been working on. I'm just going to turn that light up a little bit just so I can focus the camera a little bit more. 1 second. Blimey, that's better. Yeah, I do have dimmers on my my lights in here, so I can sort of dim the lights as to what I want them. But yeah, so these are the tubs. I have got the divider in here. So the first thing I'm going to show you is this little clip. So as you can see on my normal tubs, I've just got pegs. These have worked absolutely brilliant for me. I've got my own little peg system going. I'm not going to go into it now because I've changed it about 20 times actually, but I won't be using these pegs for now. But you can see this sort of means that I've fed one. Normally I'll feed and I'll put the peg, if they've eaten, I'll put a peg on like that, so that means I've got to go back and check it, and then once I know it's eaten, I'll turn the peg that way, and then so I don't get confused. The ones that have eaten, once they've eaten again the next week, I then put the peg this way, and it's just, yeah, I've got my own little system, but that's all changing again. So I needed something with these tubs. The snakes are able to get down the back here, push their nose down the tub, nudge this drawer forward, and then they were pushing the drawer out, and then they were escaping. So that's why I put the pegs on. So the first thing I had to do was I needed to modify the front of this. So you can see I've sort of dremeled out a little hole there. That then sits inside there, and then the clips I would use, they would go, oh, I can't get it in. The clips would go on the front just like that. Oh god, that's a snug fit. Perfect. And then that would hold that in place, so therefore the drawers don't open up, and you have to put quite, you can see I'm really pulling quite hard on that. Obviously the snake isn't going to be able to put that much pressure on it just because they can't physically get their nose down there anymore, but before they could. But yeah, this clip and here is more than enough, and I've been trying it out with my banana clown who's in there, and yeah, he's not managed to open it at all. So that's the little clip that I've retained in there, and the thing I love about this is I don't know if the camera will pick this up, but you can just make that out. See there, I've got my logo, ATOG. That I'm loving that. I'm digging that. So this is just a rough print, so when I print these properly it's going to be a little bit clearer, a little bit more high definition. But there you can see the AT, the O, the G, and yeah, I'm so happy with that. And the idea of these is I'm going to be printing these in blue and pink. That way, obviously blue for males, pink for females, and yeah, with that logo on there, I think that looks absolutely pucker. And what I'll probably be doing is getting some black crayon, and because this is all recessed in, the blue and the pink, it will show a little bit but not as much, so I'm just going to rub some black crayon in there and fill that up with the wax, and then that's just going to make that logo stand out a little bit more, and it's going to look absolutely pucker. It's going to look absolutely nuts. Can't wait. So yeah, these are the little clips. I've got a little bit there that I've made, and that just makes sure it holds that drawer in place. But yeah, these are pucker. If I put on the banana clown over here, I think that looks super smart. I really like the look of that. It's a nice clean minimalistic look, better than all these pegs sticking out. And I normally catch these and I ping these off like this, and I think, oh god, where's that peg gone, which peg does that go to? And yeah, it's just a bit of a nightmare, the pegs really. But that, I think that looks the absolute nuts. I really like that. So getting back to the actual tub itself, so if I pull this tub out without dropping everything on the floor, so oh god, open up. So the first thing you can see is we've got the bowl holders at the front, and we've got these little panels at the front here. So these panels actually hold the bowl clip in place. So if you look inside here, if I just open it up a little bit more, I can take this deli cup out, and you see there's that black ring that holds that little grey tube in. That goes through the front of the tub there, and then it connects through the back, and that plate just clicks on, and all I have to do is I can just pop that off, take the plate off, and then I can take the plastic out, pinch that together, and then it all comes out. So this is just basically like a little retaining clip, and it doubles up as a little name badge at the front, which is it's dual purpose, and I really like that. I didn't want anything that sort of clipped onto the front and hang down. I wanted something that just sort of stayed there and didn't move basically, and it just sort of serves a purpose to hold that bowl in. And all you got to do is you just push that down like that, and then that holds the bowl in place. You can see that's not going anywhere, and then you just drop the deli cup in there. Perfect, absolutely spot on. So you can see I've got two there. As I said, when I take it out, there will be a small hole just like that. You can see there's two small holes at the front where this divider piece goes. I'll take that in a minute so you can see. But yeah, that's two little holes at the front there. I don't really care about that. Maybe it's a little bit more ventilation, but they don't really need it because these tubs are well ventilated. And you can see I'm sort of left with a nasty little hole there. So that's where these little things come in. So you can see I've got one on the banana clown. I hope he doesn't bite me because he is quite feisty. But if I take this out and if I move that over, so if I just pop that out, you can see that falls out. It's literally just like a little press stud sort of thing. So it's got those little bits in there that I've made, and all I'm going to do is with that just pops onto there. Give it a little bit of pressure to pop it in. Oh, stay there, you! Don't you dare! Don't even think about it. And yeah, that just pops in place. And I think it just makes it look a little bit neater, basically, rather than having a huge hole in the front. Yeah, I really like that idea. I was thinking of what to use for them. I don't really think I can use it for anything else. I can print these in a clear plastic, so I might print them in clear just so it sort of matches the tub and you can't see it as much, basically. But that's something further down the line. But for now, that will do for me. So that's what the front bowl holder and the nameplate and everything else looks like. The next thing I've done is I've actually 3D printed my own hides. Now, I've seen loads of different designs out there for hides and things like that, and I just couldn't find one that I liked the idea of. Some people have made them where you have a piece of wood or something here, then you have like a little joint in the middle, or a piece of wood that goes across here and they slot in, and they work absolutely fine with the holes in the front. They don't have a top to them, which I don't think is an issue, but if you have snakes that sort of come out the top and you're trying to shut the drawer and you poke them down, for me it was just causing too much problems, and it was just made issues for the actual tubs as well. So I've just come up with my own little design here, basically, and the way I've done it is, obviously you've got the hide, and that's like that. On this side you can see I've actually got a magnet in that corner, and there's a magnet in this corner as well, so that magnetizes to that. And then over here you can see there's a small hole, and on this side you can see there's like that little screw there, like a little lock-in pin. So all this does is I push that down, the magnet snaps it into place, and then I push that little screw into place there, and that's it. That basically holds that in place. You can see it doesn't really go anywhere. If it does get knocked, that magnet is just going to pull that corner back into place. And I've done that for both of them, and I've actually made these slightly wider than what this box is, so that when I slot both of these in, they sort of compress together in the middle, push the tub out just to make it a little bit more sturdy. And yeah, it is quite dark, but you can just see, if I try zooming in, you've got that little opening there, and these are actually perfect. If I look from the side, you can see it doesn't take up too much room, probably takes up maybe just over a third, but a lot of the time the snakes do spend in this little area here. They don't really come out too much. They sort of lay there, they stick their head out of the front part. As you saw in one of my previous videos, they'll stick their head out of the front there, and then they'll just chill like that, basically. They're pretty happy, and they don't really do a lot. So what I'll do is I'll start breaking all this down just so you can see all the components. It's, like I said, it's taken me a long time to get to this stage, and I'm really happy with where I am. So I'm going to start by taking off the two front panels. So again, they've just got little clips on the back which hold on to that front bowl bit. They're really simple. These are a little bit fragile because it's only small plastic, but as long as you're careful with them, they're absolutely fine. I can take both the deli cups out. These are little 4-ounce deli cups. I find these are absolutely ideal. I actually use these for my grow-ons as well, and then when I get to my adults I sort of jump up to like 12, maybe 18-ounce deli cups. I find they're ideal size, to be honest. Then if we move to the actual water bowl bits themselves, I've just got some PVC pipe. Got this idea from Paul Milner over at Urban Constrictors. This is where I got the idea from for these. I was using these on their own, just like that, and I actually 3D printed some little feet that went onto the bottom of this, and they were fine, but as soon as a bit of coconut got underneath and it tilted up, the snakes were sticking their nose underneath and they were tipping the bowls over, and I was just having to change the coconut, fill the water up continuously, and yeah, it was just getting a bit of a pain really. I wanted something that was going to be a little bit easier to use and not as much maintenance, so that's why I came up with these ideas. So if I move them to the side, you can see those are the little clips. They're quite flimsy on their own, but once you get the plastic in there, they're pretty sturdy. And all you got to do is you just push these clips through the little hole that I've made, and they come out, and they're pretty simple, really simple to make. So if we take those out, that's those clips out. Next, if we take the hides out, both these hides, they literally just come out. They've come out really nice actually. They've got like a sort of a carbon fibre effect to them. Just the way that it's printed, it's just got a really cool pattern on it. Which is quite subtle, but yeah, I like that. if I just put both of them to the side, they're both exactly the same, both got magnets, both got this little retaining pin here. This one's a little bit snug, but that's ideal because I don't want it to be too loose. But yeah, they're lovely. All these corners on here all rounded off so the snakes haven't got anything to scratch themselves on. And yeah, I've not had any issues with shedding either. So this is the main drawer, how the main drawer looks. You can see I've printed these front bits in black now, just because I think the orange is nice. The orange is a bit tarty, but I just want something that was a bit more slick looking. So I've gone for black basically, and yeah, I really like the black. But again, this is a really simple design. This is acrylic that I've bought online. I bought black, obviously wanted to separate it. I don't want the snakes seeing each other when it comes to feeding, things like that. Just thought, give them their own privacy. So yeah, this middle bit is really simple. It's quite a snug fit, but that just slides out of the two runners, and you can see nothing special about that. I do need to give it a clean, but yeah, just a simple piece of acrylic. And then these two bits here are things that I've made. You've got the two little pins there which go into the holes at the back. Now these are actually different sizes. The front one is slightly taller than the back one, and that's because there was always a small gap here that the snakes could get their head over, and then they'd squeeze through the gap and they'd go next door and they'd have a cuddle with their mate, which again isn't ideal when you're feeding. You need to move them, they get a little bit stressed out from the move and then they don't eat. So that was one thing I had to plug up. So that was just a case of making that little divider bracket there like 5mm higher, just so it went to the actual top of where this ledge is, and that was enough to stop the snake from getting over in that corner bit. And then that's it, there's nothing else there. Obviously I've said we've got the magnets in each of these corners, that's what holds the hides in, and that's basically it. Really simple. It took me a long time to get to it, but once I started doing all the different designs, it all sort of came together. And then, oh god, everything's going to fall off, please don't. And then we come to the main box itself. So the only modification I've done to this box, I haven't done it on this because obviously this is the one I've been sort of testing with. I haven't done anything to this, but to run my heat source I've had to cut this out. So I've had to cut 2 grooves down here. So if I get one of the other tubs out and show you, just taking the banana clown out, he's not happy with me at all today, he just wants to be left alone. But this is his box. So again, you can see I've not made any modifications to the box whatsoever except for underneath, and you can see there I've made 2 little grooves there and 2 little grooves there, and that's so I can run heat cable. Now the heat cable that I use is a soil warming cable that you can get from garden shops and things like that, and I think they're absolutely ideal. If I bring you over here, you can see there's the warming cable, and that's it. That's all I run, just 2 strips. You can see there's a, who is that down there? Oh yeah, that's my banana het pied. No, he's not. Banana het pied is down there. This is my banana het clown, which is actually the dad to this guy. He will be going up on my Morph Market soon. Yeah, so if you want a banana het clown, 100% proven, hit me up. He'll be going on my Morph Market soon, so if you are interested in him, let me know before it goes up and we might be able to sort you out a deal. But yeah, getting back to the video, this is the heat cable, soil warming cable, and I can touch that, I can know that's warm. Now I've been through all my tubs and the temperatures do vary a little bit. Obviously the tubs at the bottom are a little bit colder. I think that's because there's a bit of a draft that comes through here. This all eventually, you can see there's quite a big gap here. These will all be raised up off the floor, so that's just going to allow these bottom tubs to be taken off the floor and away from the cold. But that's something I'm still working on. But yeah, the heat throughout is pretty decent, to be honest. Obviously the top ones are always going to be slightly warmer than the top ones because all the heat rises, but it's probably about 1 degree, if that, in varies. And I think that's because of the way I've set the heat cable up. I've not sort of run one end and then snaked it up. I folded the heat cable in half and then I run the heat cable through all the different levels. When I do my aluminium rack build and I show you that, I'll sort of go into a little bit more detail about how I run it. I'm not going to do it in here because it will just take, this video is going to be long enough as it is. But yeah, it's just the way you run the heat cable gives you a more even heat basically, because the beginning of the heat cable is going to get hot very quickly, the very end of the heat cable is going to take longer, so therefore it's going to be colder, and so just running it in a certain way just ensures you get them heats the same basically. But yeah, that's all I've done. That heat cable runs all the way through there. You can see it goes through the grooves in those tubs, and the thing I like about these tubs, if I take, who's this? This is this is my double het Exantic clown VPI. He will be going up for sale shortly. He's still on live. As soon as I can get him onto frozen, he'll be going up on my Mouldy market as well. So that's my VPI Exantic clown double het. Yeah, he's male. again, he's still on live. He's been a little bugger, but he will be going up for sale shortly, so make sure you keep an eye out for him. But if I move him to the side, you can see this tub is actually raised up, and you can see that heat cable back there is actually well below. It's not going to focus it, it's dark, but it's well below. See, there's my finger, and this is the top of where the drawer actually sits. So there's quite a huge gap between this and that. So the heat cable doesn't actually touch the drawer, so it doesn't make this tub get extremely hot underneath, which is what you don't want. It's sort of a nice gradual heat, and because these boxes are completely enclosed, it's sort of like an ambient temperature. It sort of floats around the box rather than give a direct heat underneath the heat cable. So they're always warm, and if they get too warm there, they can move to the front of the tub, and you know there's quite a lot of distance between the cable and the front of the tub, so you know they're not going to be anywhere near the heat. And it's worked out ideal for me. All these snakes in this rack have done absolutely brilliantly. My males I've kept in there, they're still breeding fine. I'm getting perfect sheds, which is absolutely brilliant, because you'd think the humidity on these wouldn't be great, but there's not too much fogging up, which is nice. You get a little bit, like down here, there's a little bit of condensation there, but that's because this guy actually broke his bowl and decided to pour water everywhere, so that's why there's a little bit of condensation, but that's not an issue. But yeah, that's how I run my heat cable, and like I said, all 40 of these tubs are on one piece of heat cable. So that's literally one cable, one heat source, one plug, one thermostat. None of these 100 cables here, there and everywhere. It just, I can't deal with it. It really annoys me, and I think I get more benefits from this. I get a better heat source from this than I do from the heat mats, in my opinion, and that's just from testing and things like that. My adult rack over here, this is run on heat mats. That's 10 high, so I've literally got a heat mat on each level, so that's 10 heat mats, 10 plugs. I'm having to use 2 different extension leads, 2 thermostats, and yeah, it's just, I just don't like that. So that'll all be going eventually once I get my new Allen racks built and installed. So yeah, heating, that's all I've done for it. You can see grooves there, really simple, and that is absolutely ideal. And it's really nice because with this top row, if I need to, I can take any of these out, but to install it, I literally just put the tub in like that, and then I'll just put my hand in, give these a little wiggle, make sure they're all up in the grooves so the tub's not sitting proud like that, and then that tub's absolutely in there. And you can see they're sort of pinned down by this rail as well, so I've got no worries about the drawer actually hitting them heat cables, which is perfect, to be honest. You get that with sort of heat mats. You push the tub in, the heat mat sort of catches the tub and then moves, and if you haven't got it stuck down, and it's just a lot of bother. He's a good boy, look at you sitting there being all patient. But yeah, you can see these tubs, they go straight in, bosh, job done. Don't forget to put the little clip on there because I do not want him escaping. There we go, sorted. So yeah, that's that part of the tub. And then the last thing I changed, ooh, don't fall, the last thing I changed, you can see I've got this red strip that goes down the middle. Now the issue I was having, I can't really show this on camera, it's not going to show up well, but I did post a picture on my Instagram, was when I put, actually let me try 1 second. So I haven't got any spare tubs to show you, so I can't show that, but basically where this rim goes down here, there's quite a big gap. There's like a sort of a 12mm gap from the top of this tub to the bottom of where this sits. Now it is a really dodgy angle for me to try and film, I do apologise, but from here to here is probably about 12mm. So where my divider was going through, so imagine this is in the drawer, this divider would go down, there was literally like a 12mm gap between the top of this and the roof, and they were managing to squeeze. You can see I can get my finger over there, that the small hatchlings were managing to squeeze over the top of that, get next door to their neighbour and have a cuddle, and yeah, it was just causing me all sorts of issues. So what I decided to do was, rather than make this taller and cause more issues catching on here, I decided to make this middle bit, and you can see on there the actual internal of the box slots inside it, so it still sits flush with the top of the box. And yeah, I made this just deep enough so there's probably about a 2mm gap between this and this divider, so it literally just hovers like that. You can see there's a slight gap, it just hovers above it to allow airflow and things like that, heat flow. And yeah, that has been perfect enough to stop the little buggers from getting over to next door. And yeah, that was one of the big issues I had. I was absolutely racking my brain for days and days and days of how to fix that issue. I was thinking about getting some really thin 2-3mm acrylic, sticking that to the top of this tub and making it go all the way across. and I thought I'd have issues with condensation, and if I wanted to clean these tubs and get inside that, it'd be an issue. And yeah, it was doing my absolute Sweden. I just could not decide what to do, and in the end I was looking at some other products, and yeah, this sort of sparked something in my mind. Now I was going to put a groove down the middle of this so that my divider could slide in the middle of here, but there's different tolerances on each tub. All the tubs are basically the same. There might be sort of 0.5 of a millimetre out here and there, and I didn't want to risk one of these not matching up with a different tub and causing issues when putting the drawers in. So I just literally left it as a solid piece, and yeah, I've not had any issues with it whatsoever. It's been absolutely spot on. So yeah, that's basically the breakdown of the tub. So let me quickly get it back together, and yeah, I'll show you a little bit more. And that's it, we're back together, and it literally took me, I don't know, 45 seconds to do that. Literally no time at all to get it back together. And if I put this back in, you'll actually see what I mean by the tolerance of the that middle part. So once that's in, if we can get a side view, you can literally see the black and the red. See that small gap? It's about 2-3 mil gap there, and yeah, that's ideal. There's no way the snakes can get over, and you can see at the very front there where that front bracket would be. You can see that bracket's all the way to the top as well, and yeah, that was the issue where I was getting them. They were sort of poking their head through there, climbing over, getting stuck along here, and yeah, it was causing me all sorts of issues. So this is my final product. Now if you think I could have done anything better, then please don't tell me, because I probably will cry if you tell me a better way of doing it. No, I'm joking. If you do think of anything that I could add to this, then please feel free to let me know. Maybe a little hot tub in the corner, maybe a sauna over here. You know, I literally feel like this is the most pimped out hatchling box that you're going to find. I don't think you can find anything that's had as much work put into it as this. Yeah, I could have gone out and just bought little tubs that pull out, but that's not me. If you watch my channel, you know it's tarty. You know I like everything to be best of the best, and yeah, I just can't leave anything alone. If I can modify it and make it to my liking, then I will do anything basically. But yeah, no, let me know what you think. Like I said, I've spent a lot of time on this. A lot of thought went into it, and yeah, I'm finally happy with this. If I could sell this as a product, I think I would. I finally got this to the stage where I'm happy with it. I wouldn't change anything, and I would actually buy this off the shelf if I could. Is that I basically wouldn't sell something if I wouldn't buy it, and I'm so picky about what I buy that for me to say that I would be happy to sell this as a product is a big thing. So yeah, really happy the way this has got. It's taken months and months and months to get to this stage. If you've watched my channel, then you'll know how long I've been going on about these boxes, so you sort of know the pain that I've gone through to get to this stage. But yeah, I'm really happy with this. And also the heat cable for this, again, that's something that I've looked into, and I don't think many people are using heat cable, not that I've watched on YouTube anyway. There probably are some out there, but you can actually see this is some heat cable that I've got here, and that's actually what's sort of folded up and giving these guys heat. And yeah, like I said, this is perfect stuff. I really love this. But yeah, let me know what you think of the heat cable idea. Let me know if you're using this or know anybody that's using it, because I would be interested to speak to a few people about this just to see what their thoughts on it are. But yeah, really happy with this. So now we've got that out of the way, I'm going to quickly show you my custom egg boxes that I've made for my eggs that I've got. We'll quickly have a look at the eggs that are actually in there. Now I don't normally like candling them too much, just because I feel like it can stress the embryo out, get them to move around, cause issues, things like that. So I don't recommend doing it, but I'm going to do it just because I'm getting the eggs out. I'm just intrigued to see what's on the inside, and I'll show you how I actually treat those moulding eggs as well. And this little girl here, she's sort of coming out to see what's going on. She's getting huge. She's probably about 1200 grams now, and that's my Pewter Blast. So a cinnamon pinstripe pastel, and yeah, I've got a few plans for her. I'm hoping to get some GHI versions of her with clowning, but yeah, shh, don't tell anyone. That's something that's coming up shortly. But I will be going over a lot of my pairings and stuff like that I've got, because I have got another ovulation. It's, again, a lot of the stuff I'm doing this year, it's not going to be too exciting this year, but it's all for future projects for the next coming years that I should be making some absolutely mind-blowing stuff, especially if you like dark side. These tubs hold some absolute magic, so it's dark side and clown involved, so yeah, absolute magic is going to be happening with these, so stay tuned. So excuse the noise in the background, that is my 3D printer going at the minute. I've got a huge batch of stuff printing, so I can start getting them tubs all up and ready at the same time basically. But yeah, this is my incubator. I've done loads of videos on this, so I'm not going to go into detail, but here you can see is my custom egg box, and you can see just at the bottom there where that red foam is, just below that is the water level. Now I haven't topped this up at all, and it's getting on for sort of, oh, what was we on, like day 43? Yeah, about day 43 now. You can see that water level is still in there, and there's not too much humidity. There's a little bit on the top, but there's hardly any on the sides whatsoever. And yeah, these have worked absolutely perfectly. So we're going to get this out, and that egg at the front there, that is the one I've been having some issues with. So I'll have a closer look, and I'll sort of give you the background on what's been happening with it. But so far these egg tubs have been brilliant. I really want these to start hatching out just to see how the baby snakes behave in this. But yeah, really excited about it. So let's quickly get it out, because I don't want to keep them out for too long. Quickly have a quick look at everything, treat the egg and chuck it straight back in. So these are my custom egg hatch boxes I've got. Again, I'm not going to go into too much detail with these. I have done a video on these previously, or a couple of videos, so go back and check them out, because I know this is going to be a long video, so I'm trying to cut the time down as much as I can. If you want me to go into detail with this again, let me know, and I can do another full in-depth video. But I'm sure when these start pipping and we do egg cutting, you're going to be seeing a lot more of this, so I'm probably going to give you a little bit more information along the line there. As you can see, we've got 4 eggs. They're all starting to suck in. See, they're dimpling in nicely, which is brilliant. Sort of shows me they are getting close, so that's looking good. And this is the one that's molding. You can see I sort of moved him over. He was in this gap here. I jumped him over to this next gap, and you can see it's not looking too bad. You can see on the front there is a little bit of mold, which isn't brilliant, but I think the egg is okay. Like I said, I haven't checked this for about 2 weeks now. I don't like to get out too much, but yeah, last time I checked it 2 weeks ago, it had strong veins. It was all looking good, so I'm keeping my fingers crossed that this egg is going to be fine. We did have 5 eggs and 1 slug. First time mum, I'm kind of happy that she wasn't a huge first time mum either. She was pushing around 1600 grams, so she wasn't massive, but yeah, I'm happy nonetheless. Pairing for this was a cinnamon GH high paired to my pastel blackhead het hypo. I'm not really too worried about the hypo side of it. I really want to try and hit a cinnamon GHI blackhead just to make it really dark. And yeah, that's just going to be pushed further down the line. You see it's starting to steam up the box now. My room's probably about 82 degrees Fahrenheit, so it's not a huge drop. It is quite a big drop in temperature for eggs, but it's not too bad. They shouldn't get shocked basically. So what we'll do is we're going to open this up. Now these tubs are absolutely brilliant. They're Systema boxes. I bought these from Tesco's. They're quite expensive, but I really like them because they keep the humidity in really well. Before I was having to use cling film and stuff like that, and yeah, these are absolutely brilliant. They've got like a seal that goes around the outside, keeps all that humidity, and you can see on this side here, on that bit up, there's a little bit of humidity there, but not a lot, which is great because I don't have to worry about any drips or anything dropping on the eggs. So we're going to quickly open this up, and we're going to have a look at this egg. So it has got a little bit of mould on it. I'm doing this one-handed, so bear with me. There's going to be some shoddy, shaky camera work, but my eggs are more important basically. So let me just have a little look at this guy. I can't really feel a lot, but the egg is still soft and squishy, which I'm liking, and you can see here the extent of that mould. You can see it goes right round, there's a little bit underneath, and yeah, that's not brilliant. So what I'm going to do, I'll try and set the camera up so you can see it, but and I'll talk you through it, but I want to try and be as quick as I can basically, so please bear with me. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to get some paper towel, and where all the mould is on this egg, like I said, this filming isn't going to be great because I don't want to mess these eggs about. I'm literally just going to try and brush a little bit of that mould off if I can. Just try and make it a little bit better of an area. Like I said, I can't really feel much in this egg as I feel like I should feel a little bit more snake in there. I can feel something, but again, I don't want to be too messy with this. I want to try and keep it nice and chilled basically. So you can see I've sort of wiped that egg over, got a little bit of that mould off, and what that wiping does, it actually smears it a little bit. So when you put your powder on, I just use like an athlete's foot powder. That's all I use, and by smearing that around, it sort of makes it like an adhesive surface, so you can literally chuck a load of powder on there. This is going to go absolutely everywhere, but I'm not too bothered about that. The egg, like I said, the egg is more important. And you can see I've absolutely doused that. I'm not going to shake it off. I'm going to leave all that powder on there if I can, because I think the more powder I've got on there, the more chance it's got of fighting that mould, basically. But you can see it's it's dusty, it goes absolutely everywhere. It doesn't smell nice, it tastes absolutely horrible. But yeah, that's basically all I do with moulding eggs. I wipe them, chuck a load of this foot powder on just to try and keep that fungus down. And yeah, that's basically it. So I'm going to get that back in its little slot that it was in. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly turn the lights off, and we're going to have a quick candle of the eggs just while they're there, so we can have a quick look at what's going on inside. Just want to have a little feel of the, oh, hello, I feel babies. What else have we got? Oh yeah, I can feel something. Now that's making me a little bit worried. I can't really feel much in that one. Oh, I can feel something there. Right. I don't know how confident I feel about this egg now. I've had a little squeeze of these. One of them is still quite plump, so I can't feel a lot, but the other ones I can feel a little bit of snake pushing against me, which is a good sign. Let me just try and get some of this powder off. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's not all good. So I'm going to quickly whack the lights off, get the torch out, we'll have a quick candle, and yeah, see what we can see. I'm hoping the veins on this egg are still good. I'm not I don't know. I'm nervous. I'm really nervous. Hang on. So we do still have some light from the fish tank that's on, but I still think we should be able to get a good look. So it may not focus because it is so dark, but we can have a little look, see what we can see in there. So there, so you can see we've got good veins there. Happy with that. I don't think we've got any pattern that we can see, but yeah, I don't want to do this too much. Yeah, that all looks good to me. See them veins, that all looks nice. So look at this one over here. This one's a little bit tricky because it's a little bit dimpled in, deflated. Oh, there we go. There we go. So yeah, you can see we've got some nice strong veins there. That's good. This little guy here, lovely. Yeah, again you see those veins. A little bit of embryo there. Now we come to this guy. Oh, I'm so nervous. Come on, please be okay. Oh. Okay, so I don't really know if that is a good. I think that I'm going to say that as a good sign. You can see we've got strong veins there. The camera's not going to pick it up too much. We're not going to be able to see too much of this just because I've put powder everywhere, but that's making me feel quite confident. You see them there? That looks like strong veins. I don't think we can see any embryo as such. Like I said, the powder has sort of covered everything up, so you're not going to see a great deal, but that looks like good veins to me. And yeah, let me know if that's a good sign. In my experience, if you can see decent veins like that, I'm guessing that means the embryo is still alive because it's got that blood flow. Whether the snake's going to have any deformities or not, I don't really know. I don't know if moulding eggs can affect a snake in that way. I know people have had eggs that have completely moulded over and they've still hatched perfectly normal. So I'm taking this as a good sign. I'm really hopeful for that. So fingers crossed this egg is going to be okay. I'm confident. Like I said, we've got about 17 days, which is today 55. Yeah, well, yeah, about 17 days I think, maybe a little bit less, but fingers crossed. But yeah, no, they're looking really good. So get this lid back on. I've made an absolute mess everywhere. It looks like a bloody, I can't say that on YouTube because I'll probably get told off, but yeah, there's white powder everywhere, which is going to be a nightmare to tidy up. But yeah, I love these tubs, really do. Cannot fault this tub at all. But yeah, get this back in the incubator really quick, and then yeah, we'll finish up. So there we go. I'm so happy. Honestly, I was so nervous about candle egg this week because I could see the mould was slowly creeping up more and more. I was getting more and more nervous about it, and I really wanted to just jump in. Like I think it was about 4 or 5 days I started noticing the mould, and I really wanted to just jump in there and start messing around with it, putting more foot powder and stuff on it. And I just sort of, no, leave it alone, leave it be, it'll be fine. It's really hard, especially if you're as impatient as me. It's it's just something like that. I just feel like I need to deal with it instantly, but I just thought, no, leave it alone, because the more you mess with your eggs, the more problems you're going to get further down the line. I did think about taking that egg out and putting it in its own little separate box, so I'm literally just taking that egg in and out, but I thought, again, doing that egg box was set up perfectly, humidity, everything. If I then put a brand new box in there, I hadn't cycled that box. I like to give my box sort of a week in the incubator before I put the eggs in, and I hadn't cycled that box, so I didn't want to sort of mess about with that basis. I thought I'm just going to leave it in there, leave it as long as possible, as long as the mold doesn't get too bad, sort of deal with it sort of bi-weekly, so every 2 weeks, and that should be enough basically. But yeah, after seeing them veins, I think that's a good sign. So let me know what you think. Let me know in the comments down below if you think it's going well. Let me know what you think about them tubs. Those new Hatchling tubs, I think they're the absolute dog's bollocks. Honestly, I think they are incredible. That's just because I'm biased and I've made it, and it's been my little baby for like the last, I don't even know how long I've had these, 6 months probably. But yeah, that's been my little project. Now that's all sorted, I've been focusing on my racks. Aluminium racks are going to be absolutely belting, as long as I can get the welding done correctly, because I'm welding it all myself. As long as I can get all that spot on, it's going to be amazing. And my new incubator is almost done. I've been, again, it's been like this box, I've been working on this incubator for absolutely ages, but with work that I've been doing on the room and things like that, there's just so many things to do, so little time. I'd probably need a solid month. If I could have a solid month off work, just working on here full time on all my little projects, I'd probably get it all done. But yeah, it's just, life is life, you know. So yeah, so that's all I've got for you basically. That's going to be the end. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's quite a long video, I know. If you are still here, then thank you for sticking towards the end. Only my OG subscribers, you're the ones I know I can count on. But yeah, thank you for sticking towards the end. I really do appreciate it. I have loads of new stuff coming. I've got some merch coming, which is good. I've been speaking to my guy. He's going to get some work done for me, so just working on a few final tweaks. That's going to be absolutely awesome. And I've also got some snake bags coming, and these snake bags are in your face. They're right out there. They are orange, because orange is my favourite colour, so they are bright orange. Yeah, just getting those made up, so there's going to be some amazing stuff coming. Again, make sure you stay with me. Like I said, it's one of them things where I'm working from the ground upwards. I'm building my foundations, and I'm hopefully going to set myself right for the future. If you're interested in the aluminium rack builds, bear with me as well. It's going to be probably a few more weeks until that sort of comes out. I'm not going to show you the build of it, just because it's a lot of trial and error on my part, but once I've got them up and running, I will be giving you a full breakdown of those. They are going to be using these tubs behind me, 32 litre tubs. Yeah, let me know what you think about everything you've seen. If there's anything you are interested in, like snakes I've shown, hit me up, send me a message on Instagram, private message, whatever you want to do. And yeah, I'll get back to you as quickly as I can basically. But thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.